Arlington, where the A's are looking to extend their first-place lead in the division to 5.5 games over the Rangers. It's the best of the AL West in Texas.
Last year, the American League West came down to a one-game showdown, and Oakland stunned Texas. This year, with 2 weeks left, Oakland is red hot, and Texas is desperate for a win. Two bitter rivals, two big arms, one big duel in Texas. Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, and it's high noon for this showdown. Oakland and Texas. Last night, the A's outlasted the Rangers, won it 9-8, and pushed their lead in the West to 4.5 games. Texas's wild card hold is starting to slip. So there's a lot on the line here on a hot day in Arlington. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Eric Karros. Now, 3 weeks ago, it wasn't like this. It was the Rangers that had a 3.5 game lead. Oakland has come roaring back, and it's been offense that has propelled the A's.
Well, you talk about the A's, and the nickname is the swinging A's, and that's what they've been doing since August 23rd. You look at these rankings amongst Major League Baseball. First in runs, first in slugging percentage, and most importantly for me, first with average with runners in scoring position. They've been dynamite offensively, and that's why they're here.
For the Rangers to get where they want to get, to the postseason, they have to get better starting pitching. And Ron Washington feels it starts today with Yu Darvish.
Well, Yu Darvish gets the ball, and he's really the ace of this staff. That August 23rd date, since then, the Rangers are second to last in ERA amongst starting pitchers. Darvish has to come out, answer the bell today. They've got to score for him. He gets the ball in what is the Rangers' biggest game of the season.
Yeah, on a Saturday at high noon here in Dallas. Oakland trying to stretch their lead to 5.5 games. The Rangers looking for a win, trying to gather some momentum. With 2 weeks left, Oakland and Texas, they're at it again. More sun throughout the day. Oakland and Texas, game 2, 3-game set. Oakland winners last night. They hung on at the end to win it 9-8. A's starting lineup brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Coco Crisp is having a terrific year, and so is Josh Donaldson. Add Jed Lowry to that list. Brandon Moss in the cleanup spot. Yoenis Cespedes set the tone last night with a 3-run homer in the first. Derek Barton has been a nice surprise at first base. Josh Reddick off the DL and in the lineup. Stephen Vogt will do the catching, and Eric Sogard will hit ninth. Opening pitch is brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting, so grab some buds.
Yu Darvish takes the hill for Texas, and he is their #1 guy. He leads all of Major League Baseball in strikeouts. He's had some trouble, though, against his Oakland Athletic Ball Club. In his last start, 6 walks.
Yeah, this year 0-3 against the A's.
Now, scouting report for Darvish, he's got to keep the ball in the park. His Oakland A Ball Club has been hitting a lot of home runs. Darvish has been giving up quite a few as of late. Got to have a good first inning. His ERA in the first this year, over 5.
You see the numbers for Darvish, and Ron Washington, Eric, told us today about getting off to a good start, and that didn't happen last night when Yoenis Cespedes gave Oakland a quick 3-0 lead.
Yeah, nothing worse than if you're the home team to be standing out in the field, and before you even get to sit down in your dugout, you're already behind. That was the case last night for the Texas Rangers.
Terrific year by Coco Crisp. He's got Josh Donaldson and Jed Lowry behind him, and Darvish with a first pitch fastball that is up to Crisp. Why is Oakland so successful against Darvish? It comes down to, in Chili Davis's words, the Oakland hitting coach, patience.
Well, really, a baseball game is a battle of home plate. And what I mean by a battle of home plate, the hitter is trying to shrink home plate, make the pitcher throw it over the plate. The pitcher, while attacking the offense, he's trying to expand home plate, trying to get the hitter to swing at pitches off of the plate. That's what the A's do so well, is they are disciplined enough to make the opposing pitcher get it over.
And that's Darvish's bread and butter, is getting you to swing at pitches that aren't over the middle of the plate. Crisp goes after a 2-0 pitch that was up and in, and the count's 2-1.
And I think you and I talked about it prior to the game, Rich, where you made the comment that everybody thinks that Moneyball and the A's, the philosophy is to walk. And it is not to walk, it is to see pitches. Now, walks might be a byproduct of seeing a lot of pitches, but you don't go up there saying, oh, I'm going to get a walk. You go up there to look for a good pitch, put a good swing on that pitch, and try to drive it.
And the A's are very good at chewing up pitch counts, getting into bullpens, and right now they're on an incredible run. They've won 11 of their last 14. 2-1 to Crisp. And Darvish misses in. The count's 3-1. And you can hear in the crowd here, as you see Ron Washington, a little bit of concern, because they know the Rangers are scuffling. They know they fell in a big hole last night and couldn't dig out of it. Rangers have dropped 4 in a row, 10 of their last 13. Full count. An exceptional year by Crisp. Power numbers, 20 doubles and a career high 19 home runs, and he's driven in 57 from the leadoff spot. Three-two. And he got him.
Well, it looked like he took a little something off of that pitch. Crisp expecting the fastball. Darvish goes a little different direction right there. And at least starts off with the first hitter. Gets him out. Gives him a little bit of momentum.
Now another hot hitter for Oakland. Josh Donaldson. And the year that he's having is exceptional. 35 doubles to go with the 22 home runs. And he's on a 9-game hit streak right now. last night. He was hit on the hand earlier in the game, and he came back and drilled a solo homer.
Well, he's been the most consistent offensive player for the A's this year. Hadn't been a lot of ups and downs. Right now in a stretch of a 9-game hitting streak.
And of course, his story, you go back to 2012. He came into spring training as a catcher. He did both playing in college, but he was a catcher, and an injury forced Oakland to move him out to third. He really finished strong at the end of last year, and he hasn't missed a beat all season long.
Darvish liking that breaking ball. It falls behind again, 3-0.
Donaldson has struggled. He's one of the A's that has not hit Darvish well. Just 1 for 11 with 7 strikeouts, and the count's 3-1. It's an Oakland group that really on a nice run, and Bob Melvin points to that series up in Detroit where the A's cut through the Tigers and that great rotation, and they haven't looked back since. Full count.
It keeps us down in the zone. It runs away. And remember, 3-2 count against Coco Crisp. Darvish went to an off-speed pitch.
Giovanni Soto working with Darvish behind the plate for the Rangers. Donaldson right up on the plate. You see him almost shift up to the very edge.
I think Soto wanted the fastball. Darvish shook him off. He went to the breaking ball. There's A.J. Przinsky.
Przinsky DHing today. Soto behind the plate. (3-2). And he lost him. And the pattern is held. Oakland has been able to get into deep counts on both of the at-bats against Darvish.
You see Soto, he wants it down and away. He wants that fastball down and away. Get it down and away. Being demonstrative back there. A lot of energy right now. There's 95-degree heat. I'd like to see how that's looking in the 5th or 6th inning behind the plate.
A lot of urgency right now.
That's true.
For Texas. After the loss last night, 4.5 back. They're still a wild card team, but even that is eroding with this awful September that the Rangers have had.
Well, I think you just said it. The Rangers have played themselves into the wild card, and not from the bottom coming up to the top, but from the top falling back to the rest of the pack. We always think of the wild card of being, well, they get to play a series. Wild card is a one-game shot. Darvish falling behind the hitters. It's a pattern you really don't want to establish.
He fell behind Crisp, came back and struck him out. Fell behind Donaldson and walked him. And now Lowry takes a strike. And it's a ball and a strike.
You know, one of the other things that you don't think about, but when a pitcher's out there throwing a lot of pitches, the offense are working the counts, that means the defense is standing around out there. And when you're talking about this type of heat, that absolutely will have an impact.
Check swing, and Joe West, the home plate umpire, says he went around. No appeal. Lowry behind the count, 1-2.
Yeah, Joe didn't need any help on that. He made the call. But when you get in these sort of counts, this is when you have to put the guy away, especially on a day like this. You've got to be pitch efficient. You're 1-2. You don't want to end up going 3-2. Get rid of him now.
One, two. It's up. Now the umpires are working in this heat as well. Joe West, Sam Holbrook, Andy Fletcher had a big call last night at third base, and Rob Drake, who worked home plate last night, is at third base. 2-2. Darvish already has thrown 16 pitches in the inning. And just to check on Donaldson, who's swiped 4 bags this year.
Well, last night both teams scored in the first inning. The A's put up 3, the Rangers put up 2. Tough for each of the starting pitchers.
Lowry fights it off, and the count stays at 2-2. The Athletics are a great example of a team that is really a sum of their parts, and Lowry has been a real nice part this year, and somewhat of a surprise. He has stayed healthy. They got him from Houston before spring training, and Bob Melvin feels that Lowry's bat has been such a nice addition to the lineup.
And not a great defender, but well over 40 doubles, hitting in that 3rd spot today.
And he swings and misses, and Darvish has gone strikeout, walk, strikeout with deep counts. Now, last night Texas was coming back. They were down 9-3. This was the call at third base with Alex Rios racing to the bag.
Well, he's heading over there, and you see he calls him out. Clearly on the replay, he's safe, and you want to get all excited. The umpire made a bad call. But you also have to take a step back. Alex Rios has that play in front of him. When he's rounding second, he can gauge whether he should go or not. And also, you don't want to make the 1st or 3rd out at third base. So blame all around there.
Pickoff throw, and it's down the line, and Donaldson is headed to third. It goes all the way to the corner. He's going to try to score, and he does. On a rifle shot down the right field line, Brandon Moss has driven in Josh Donaldson, and Oakland, just like last night, is on the board first.
It's a fastball out over the middle of the plate. Rios does a good job of getting it back in. Throw just a bit up the line. Donaldson never hesitating. Mike Gallego, the third base coach for the Oakland A's, sending him all the way. Donaldson does a nice job of avoiding the tag. He sees it in the corner, and he's moving as fast as Josh Donaldson can run.
And Donaldson scoring on the double. Moss's 18th double of the season. Just a shot in the corner by Mitch Moreland. And here is Cespedes. Eric Karros, at the start of the telecast, talked about Oakland scoring first and about Darvish getting through the first. And it obviously has come into play here. 0-1. High fastball.
Well, and you go back, the last time the Texas Rangers have led at any point in a baseball game was Sunday. That's almost a week where they have not led in a baseball game at all. Needless to say, their last win, Sunday.
Counts 0-2. Moss at second, and Soto on his way out to the mound. This is Oakland's offense at its finest. The A's are as hot as they've been all year long. I mean, they are rolling. Their last 3 games. Wednesday, they scored 18 runs in Minnesota. Thursday, they beat the Twins 8-2. 9 runs last night. Oh, 2 coming. Cespedes checks. No swing.
Well, I think what's interesting with this A's lineup, it's not any one person, it's everyone. And that's the thing that makes it tough when you're trying to compete against a team like the A's. If you're the opposing team, you say, I want to pick out 1 or 2 guys who I want to avoid. Well, everybody's contributing right now.
Breaking ball, and Cespedes fouls it back. Bob Melvin said it before the game that the bottom of his lineup has been as dangerous as the top of his lineup. And he's got Josh Reddick, Stephen Vogt, and Eric Sogard hitting 7, 8, and 9. Cespedes reaching, and it's 1-2. What a September Cespedes has had.
He's been nice. I mean, he needed it after the August that he had.
Derek Barton is on deck. 25th pitch of the inning coming up. Cespedes has driven in 13 runs this month already. 3 homers. He's hit .404. Moss at second. Cespedes fouls it back.
Well, Brandon Moss had the big double this inning, the run scoring double, but for me the big at bat was Josh Donaldson. This is a guy that Darvish had basically dominated. Donaldson was 1 for 11, 7 strikeouts. Already had 1 out, but you end up walking Donaldson. You can't do that against a guy that you absolutely own. Ends up walking him, strikes out the next guy, and then you got problems.
And the one constant in all of these at bats, and now you're in with Cespedes as well, deep counts, lots of pitches, 25 pitches in this heat. Oakland is one of the best in baseball at chewing up starters and chewing up pitch counts. And Cespedes goes down, but Oakland is on the board. Brandon Moss gives the Athletics a 1-0 lead. An RBI double. Josh Donaldson scores. 1-0 Oakland. Sometimes you got to live Moss. Ian Kinsler leads it off at second. Elvis Andrus at short. Alex Rios in right. Adrian Beltre having a great year as always, hitting cleanup. AJ Pierzynski DHing in this game. He hits fifth. Giovanni Soto behind the plate. Mitch Moreland at first. Craig Gentry is in left. And Leonis Martin is in center. Bartolo Colon at 40. Still going strong and a real renaissance in his career.
Doing a nice job for the A's this year. He ran into a bit of a lull last month or so. He had a strong start against Houston.
Kinsler already in dialogue with Joe West. And it's 0-2.
I like that. In dialogue with.
Well, you don't want to argue. You want to have a dialogue. You know that. Especially with Joe West on a hot afternoon.
You're right.
What are we looking for from Colon today?
Well, he throws to contact, not a strikeout guy at all. So defensively, you have to be aware. To attack this Rangers offense, keep the top 2 of the lineup off base.
Sogard. And Colon gets a ground ball out. And that brings up Elvis Andrus. We focused on the struggles for starting pitching for Texas. The offense for the Rangers, this is not your mother or father's or even your older brother's Texas Ranger offense.
No, it really isn't. When you think Texas Rangers, you think of these guys that are hitting all kinds of home runs and offensive explosions. And the reality is this roster is not comprised of those type of players. You know, Ron Washington has a much different roster than he's had in the past. You still have the Adrian Beltre. You know, Cruz is out right now. But gone are the Napolis, the Michael Youngs, the Josh Hamiltons, guys that were big offensive players. You see Rios right there. A nice acquisition, but he's a complimentary player. He's not a guy that's going to put anybody on their back and run.
Rangers shortstop with a 2-0 coming, and Colon misses away, and it's 3-0. Elvis Andrus, a two-time All-Star, and still very young, still just 25. And he takes a strike. 3-1.
3-0 pitch. 3-0, you'd like to see a little better one as a hitter. And if you watch those pitches that Colon throws, a lot of movement. You know, they kind of dart over the inner part of the plate. Dart, nothing really straight.
He lost them. Colon doesn't walk many. It's just his 27th walk, and this is start 28. Here's the 4 keys to the game.
Be patient for the A's, and that is because Darvish likes to expand the zone, doesn't necessarily throw the ball over the plate. As I said a little earlier in the show today, the Rangers just need to get a lead. They haven't been in front since last Sunday. And I'm not talking about the end of the game. I'm talking about at any point in the game.
Andrus, a great base stealer and a good lead at first. And Alex Rios, acquired from the White Sox. Rios, a veteran. 39 stolen bases for Elvis Andrus. The Rangers like to run. Ron Washington has had his team running all year, 122 stolen bases, second in the American League.
Well, and again, when you talk about the way this team is put together, you have to run. Can't sit around and wait for guys to hit it out of the park. Just not built like that.
There's the guy that if you're Bartolo Colon, you have to be aware of, and that's Adrian Beltre in the cleanup spot. Beltre 3 for 4 last night. Rios knocked in a couple runs last night in the comeback. To right. And Reddick out of the shadows and into the sun. 2 outs. Here comes Beltre. And here's Oakland's defense. Cespedes, Crisp, Reddick, Donaldson, Lowry, Sogard, Derek Barton at first, Stephen Voth behind the plate. Andrus still at first. Beltre waiting at the plate. The names that you ticked off, guys that over the last 2, even last season, produced runs in the Rangers lineup, no longer around in front or behind Beltre. And the name you mentioned earlier, Nelson Cruz, is not there, but that's his own doing. Cruz, of course, suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. Cruz is eligible to come back at the end of the regular season and play in either a 1-game play-in game or, if the Rangers qualify, in the postseason.
And he's down right now, and I believe in instructional league, getting at-bats, getting prepared for what the Rangers hope to be an opportunity to play in the postseason. But you're right, they absolutely miss him because he's a guy that's been through the last few years been a key part of the offense.
Cruz an all-star this year. Beltre drives it to right, hits it pretty well. Reddick is back and there, and he makes the catch at the track. And Colon gets through the first. We're underway in Texas. Oakland 1-0. Ford F-150 with EcoBoost. And by Taco Bell's new fiery Doritos Locos Taco. Live Mas. In the sun in Texas, Oakland a 1-0 lead. And Derek Barton, Josh Reddick, Stephen Vogt in the second against Yu Darvish. A big swing and a miss by Barton. Barton has been hot late, and a guy, as we talked about, the A's have been able to find pieces, plug them in. And in his career against Darvish, small sample size, but 3 for 4 with a home run. And he bounces one fair down the line. Mitch Moreland gets there. And there's one out. Now Josh Reddick, who was a big part of that incredible run for Oakland last year. Reddick last year, a Gold Glove in right field, hit 32 home runs. This year, for Reddick, it's been a struggle to stay in the lineup injury-wise. He's a guy that plays hard, not afraid to stick his nose in it. And it was in this state, Eric, in Houston, where it all started.
Yeah, this is where the wrist had a little problem against the short wall over there. He's been battling that all year long. There's nothing worse for a hitter than to have any type of hand problems. And then when you get into the wrist, it just impacts every swing. You start thinking about it, and he's just never been able to get on any type of roll.
Second trip to the disabled list, and he came off on Tuesday and had a nice series in Minnesota. 2 for 4, a double, and a homer. So if the A's get him back, to add to all the guys that are red hot right now, they'll really be tough to catch.
Well, it just provides manager Bob Melvin with more options. Here's Stephen Vogt there. And that's the thing, that this lineup, so many different pieces.
High fly ball, right field corner, Rios for a look, and it's into the seats.
As I was talking about earlier, can't just defend against one or two hitters. Like I said, when you go into a series, you always look to the other team and say, that's the guy that I will not let beat me, no matter what. Well, the A's don't really have that type of guy, and everybody can contribute.
Meanwhile, Darvish, who had a long first inning, Oakland got a run on a Brandon Moss RBI double, was at 33 pitches. And Reddick pulls it foul.
In his last start against the Pittsburgh Pirates, 81 pitches in 7 innings. There's Nolan out there, Nolan Ryan. Braving the heat today, huh?
That was a tough series to watch for Nolan Ryan and for Ranger fans. The Pirates came in here and swept the Rangers. And the Rangers had opportunities in every game. They were a swing away.
Well, that's the thing that's been so frustrating for Ron Washington in his ball club. It's not as if they've been just getting steamrolled. It felt like they've had opportunities to win ball games. They're a hit away, a pitch away.
And Washington told us if they get that win, if they get that big hit, he feels that the team is capable of going on a run. And Reddick strikes out. So Darvish already his 4th strikeout of the ball game. Tonight, Fox College Saturday presented by Geico brings you in-state battles. Iowa State. That's on Fox Sports 1. On Fox, Cal looks to upset 4th-ranked Ohio State. And in a nightcap, Pac-12, Oregon State and Utah on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com right now. Stephen Vogt, Athletics catcher, and a piece that the A's picked up over the offseason, and boy, has he come in handy. Spending most of the year in AAA, but when called up after the concussion to John Jaso, Vogt has really shined.
Well, he has. And Bob Melvin telling us prior to the game that he just felt like the A's have been confident in Vogt from the beginning, and he's felt that confidence, and it's displayed in the way he's gone out and performed. And sometimes you get in situations where other people's expectations about you, for you, they start to become a reality. Sometimes you need a change of scenery, and that's been the case for Stephen Vogt.
Sogard on deck. Into center, and he dumps it in for a base hit. So Vogt continues to hit. And a 2-out single gets Sogard to the plate. Sogard getting the start against the right-hander Darvish. Saw the note on Darvish, 250 strikeouts this season. Only the 2nd Ranger to get there. Nolan Ryan only had 301 back in '89.
We talked about 41 pitches, the pitch count just escalating. We talk about the A's, everybody contributing. Even more important, there isn't an easy out. There isn't an easy guy where you're going to go 1, 2, 3 pitches sitting down. Even if they do make outs, it's a 5-pitch at bat, 6-pitch at bat.
And when that's in play, you don't always have to beat the starter.
Nope.
You can get to the bullpen and beat the bullpen. Texas's bullpen has actually been very good this year. The problem lately has been getting the game to the pen.
Yep. Starting pitching has really struggled. Joe Nathan has anchored that staff at the end of the year, or at the end of the game.
since the 23rd, and that's when it all flipped in the West. That's what the starting pitching has done. Stephen Votes at first. And a strike to Sogard. Sogard, originally a Padre draft pick. Oakland got him back in 2010. He pops it up. And it's into the seats. If you're just joining us, Oakland has scored first. Something they did last night in racing to a big lead. They held on for a 9-8 win. Here, a 1-0 lead. What's at stake? Well, the A's are trying to stay on a roll, and they could push their lead over Texas to 5.5 games with 2 weeks to play. The Rangers not only want to cut into Oakland's lead, but they want to stop their slide lower on the wild card ladder, even though they are a wild card team.
Well, we talked about it a little earlier. A wild card team, you know, in the past, a wild card team, well, that's great. You know, you're going to play a series against the top team in the league, and there's no series. You're a wild card participant. That's a one game. You'd be one game and done. Well, that's why the division's so important.
Yeah, and Ron Washington knows that first person. That's what happened to the Rangers after the A's caught him last year. Breaking ball hit in the air to center. Martin ambles over and makes the catch. Yu Darvish, a lot of pitches, but he gets to the second. Oakland holding a 1-0 lead. Official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. In Arlington, in the sun, Oakland and Texas. A.J. Pierzynski, Giovanni Soto, Mitch Moreland against Bartolo Colon. In what feels like a postseason game, you've got a postseason type pitching matchup with Colon against Yu Darvish. If the Rangers do get to the postseason, they've got a guy in Pierzynski who's in his career had very good postseasons, and he rifles one into center field for a base hit.
Fastball down in the zone. You see A.J. keeps his head right on it, drives it right back up the middle. He's had a nice season for the Texas Rangers. 17 home runs, hitting at about a 280 clip. And he's done what he does. No, he's not a guy. He's not going to come in and hit 35 home runs. He's not going to hit 320. He's been very capable all year long.
Rangers had a base runner in the first. Brzezinski, a leadoff single. And here is Giovanni Soto taking a strike from Colon. Soto, the veteran, coming over from the Cubs.
Soto's got to keep this ball off the ground. The A's don't turn a lot of double plays, but the situation, obviously, Brzezinski at first. Soto doesn't run all that well. There you see the A's defensively pretty much straight up. And we talked about the A's turning the fewest double plays. Not a proficient team defensively.
Soto fouls that pitch off from Colon. You know, one of the amazing things about Bartolo Colon, numbers wise, he's 40. This is his 33rd career start against Texas. That's a season worth of starts against one team. And he's had great success. He's 19-8 with an ERA of about 3.5. Now, as Texas is trying to weather the absence of Nelson Cruz, Oakland, of course, lost Colon last year to a performance-enhancing drug suspension. And it didn't seem to bother the A's because they ended the season with 5 rookies in their rotation. And Bob Melvin's bunch had that incredible run to catch Texas on the final day, beat Texas, and win the West without Colon. Shallow center. It's Crisp who makes the catch.
Well, you talk about the A's doing well without Colon and guys stepping in. Here you see Soto right now. Had a number of swings and he just couldn't get a ball that he could drive. Frustrated right there, throws the bat down. But jumping back, missing one pitcher who throws every 5 days, a little different than missing a guy like Cruz, who sits in the middle of this lineup for the Rangers and complements Adrian Beltre. The Rangers just haven't been able to overcome it in the long haul. You know, initially they were good, but again, over time, you realize how much you miss Cruz.
A strike to Mitch Moreland. Moreland has had hamstring issues this year, and since coming off the disabled list, you can see his numbers down significantly. He has had success against Bartolo Colon. In fact, a couple of home runs against Colon. The last time was in earlier this month on the 3rd of September.
I don't know how many times he did it, though, when he was down 0-2.
Well, certainly not this time. Good live fastball from Colon gets the strikeout.
Those 3 pitches were all just location, all on the outer part of the plate, probably even off of the plate. Colon not known as a strikeout pitcher. Joe West giving him that call.
Here's Craig Gentry now. While Oakland has been getting production from every part of their lineup, from the top, from the meat of the order, from the bottom, the Rangers in this slide haven't been getting much production from any part of the lineup other than Adrian Beltre. Bartolo Colon gets the out. 1-0 Oakland. We're back after a word from your local Fox station. through for the Athletics order. Coco Crisp, Josh Donaldson, Jed Lowry against Yu Darvish. And you can see 46 pitches already for Darvish in just 2 innings. Crisp had a deep count, struck out on a slider back in the first. And he swings and misses. It's 0-1.
Crisp not getting cheated on that swing. Mentioned 19 home runs this season.
Veteran at 33. And a hot bat. You see the home runs have really come in the second half of the season. Donaldson started that rally in the first with a walk. It was a Brandon Moss double that has provided the only run of the game. It's Rios, and he makes the catch. Joe West, veteran umpire, all mic'd up in our sounds of the game.
How you doing, Steve? Where are you from?
Visalia, California.
All right.
Hey, happy anniversary. Your first game.
Happy anniversary.
Today's the anniversary of your first game in the big leagues.
Really?
I read that about you.
Well, 1976. That's before you were born. Hey.
How are you?
That's really cool to hear. I mean, you've got Stephen Vogt, who really had to grind through the minor leagues to get to the big leagues and is enjoying an opportunity to play. And then Joe West, as you heard, has been here since 1976.
Well, Stephen Vogt showing a little bit of experience, getting to know the home plate umpire, getting ready to have a conversation, butter him up a little bit. Smart man.
That's the dialogue that you want to start.
It's the dialogue. Yeah, that's the dialogue. You're exactly right.
Here's Donaldson now. For Donaldson, it's been a terrific year. And last night was, for him, a unique night. If you know Donaldson's story, you know that Donaldson was raised by his mother and his uncle. His father was in prison. For 16 years he was in prison. Last night his father was in the ballpark and saw him play in any sporting event for the very first time in his life.
And how about he goes deep? It's a home run.
Donaldson had a couple of hits, homered, drove in 3. It was an emotional night for him, as would be expected. He had kept in contact with his father while his father was incarcerated. He gives an immense amount of credit, all the credit, to his mother and his uncle. But to have his father here watching him last night, for Donaldson, brought out some emotion. And he's hot right now. 9-game hit streak, 457 over that stretch. You go up and down this Athletics lineup and you find a hot hitter, a guy that's on a run either in September or a hit streak like Donaldson. Martin makes the catch. 1-0 Oakland here. Now it's time for a Pepsi game break.
Rich, thank you very much. It's Greg Amston with an update in Boston. CC Sabathia having a down year. David Ortiz having a pretty good one. Going the other way, here comes Dustin Pedroia. The Red Sox love playing the Yankees this year. It's 3-0 Sox, bottom 3. Rich, Eric, back to you in Arlington.
Thank you, Greg. All right, this season, Yankees, Red Sox, look what they've done over the last 6 games. And just when the Yankees felt like, hey, they had something going, they're back in the wild card race, then they ran into the Red Sox. New York 2 games back in the wild card behind the Rays.
Well, I think the real rough one for the Yankees was a little over a week ago, a Thursday night. They had the lead. They had come back. Mariano's in there to shut the Red Sox down, and Red Sox end up tying it and winning in extra innings, and it's just really set the tone. And when you look at those wild card standings, you know, one of the things that maybe favors Texas a bit is like a team like the Yankees falling out a little. Cleveland's got a very favorable schedule. It's still going to be tough. The wild card is wide open.
Well, the Rangers run right smack dab into it with their next 2 series. They're on the road 4 against the Rays and 3 on the road against Kansas City, and Kansas City still has wild card hopes. Much tougher schedule on paper than Oakland. Darvish an 0-2 pitch, and Lowry takes down low.
But Ron Washington mentioned to us before the game, it's in their hands. You know, they're going to play teams that if they can beat, they knock them right out of the wild card hunt with Tampa and Kansas City. It'll allow them a road to the postseason.
Lowry checks his swing. He struck out back in the first.
You know, if you can't beat Tampa Bay and Kansas City, do you deserve to be going to the postseason? If you play like you've played the last week and a half, you end up not doing well in this series, you really deserve to be playing in October.
Lowry swings and misses, and Darvish has his first 1-2-3 inning. 5 strikeouts for Yu Darvish. Texas needs some runs. Ian Kinsler coming up. 1-0 Oakland. Leonis Martin runs up to bunt and takes ball 1 against Bartolo Colon. In the bottom of the 3rd in Texas, Oakland up 1-0. Martin, the 9-hitter. Ian Kinsler, Elvis Andrus will follow against Bartolo Colon, the A's right-hander. And Martin hits a fly ball to right center field. Coco Crisp. And there's 1 out. Here comes Kinsler, 2nd time through against Bartolo Colon. Colon has not been overpowering. He has struck out just 1. An A.J. Pierzynski line drive single, the only hit for the Rangers.
But what Colon has been able to do is miss the barrel of the bat, and that's how he pitches. He pitches to contact. He's not a strikeout guy. But what he does is he avoids solid contact. And the first time through the lineup, outside of A.J. Pierzynski, the Rangers have not hit the ball hard.
Colon, a Cy Young Award winner long ago with the Angels. but an all-star this year.
Cologne doesn't throw with a ton of velocity, but in his last start against Houston, he felt like he was throwing, in his words, with more power.
And a contrast in pitch counts. Cologne's pitch count, he's been very economical through his 2 innings. Darvish, high pitch counts the first 2. Kinsler has a base hit. And the Rangers have had a base runner in all 3 innings now. Andrus now.
Andrus, he drew a 3-2 walk in his last at bat.
Kinsler has 13 stolen bases at first, though he's been caught 9 times this year. And he almost got picked there on a good move by Cologne. Derek Barton over at first.
Barton does a nice job of swiping down that tag.
Cologne goes back over there again. I told you the Rangers will run 122 stolen bases.
See the way Barton sets over there at first base. He's at basically a 45-degree angle. He's got that left foot squared up right to Cologne. What that does, it puts a little bit of pressure on the pitcher, because if the pitcher throws it to Barton's left, very difficult for him to catch. Very difficult. If he throws it towards the runner, a little easier to make the tag, but you're putting a lot of pressure on your pitcher. Or you got a heck of a lot of confidence in yourself and being able to move around over there at first.
See, the outfield swung to right center. Andrus has homered just twice this year. Up the middle, Cologne's got it out there. Sogard's turn out there. Oakland doesn't turn many double plays, but Bartolo Colon just started one. A 1-4-3 and a nice pick by Colon. Sponsored by the makers of One A Day Men's, the official multivitamin of Major League Baseball. And by Fox Sports 1. To find your channel, go to foxsports1.com. In Arlington, 1-0 Oakland. Brandon Moss, Yoenis Cespedes, Derek Barton against Yu Darvish, who opens with a strike to Moss. 60 pitches in is Darvish opening the fourth. Moss with an RBI double down the right field line. That scored Josh Donaldson. That's the only run of the ball game. A big swing and a miss.
Big, slow curveball right here. 64 miles an hour, and that thing just dropped off the table. What a pitch.
Darvish fell behind just about everyone their first time through. 26 pitches in the first, 20 in the second. But a 1-2-3 third, and he's out in front 0-2. And Moss fouls it back.
Well, we mentioned Darvish, the strikeout leader in Major League Baseball. He's got 5 already today. Of those 5, every single one of them swinging.
And he got him.
Another off-speed pitch and another strikeout swinging. That's 6 today for Darvish.
Next Sunday on Fox, if you think you know Mike Tyson, think again, as Being Mike Tyson takes you inside the life of one of the most controversial, enigmatic, and successful sports icons of our time. Being Mike Tyson premieres Sunday on Fox. Check your local listings. Darvish has retired 5 in a row. He's got Cespedes, whom he struck out in the first. Cespedes fouls it off of Soto. The numbers for Cespedes, power numbers at 23 homers, 74 driven in. He's got 21 doubles. But he's one of the guys that has caught fire in September. High pop, Kinsler out, Martin in, and it's Kinsler who makes the catch. And Derek Barton comes to the plate. Barton, really an interesting progression. The third was a 1-2-3. Got the first 2 outs here in the fourth. Little flare to left, and Gentry is there to make the catch. Yu Darvish has settled down. A 9-pitch inning there. Bottom of the fourth. Rich Waltz along with Eric Karros. The Athletics trying to move their lead to 5.5 in the West, and they have a terrific pitching staff. You've got the 40-year-old Bartolo Colon on the mound here, but the rest of the rotation very young and very talented, and one of those starters joins us now, Jared Parker, who hasn't lost a game since, when was it, May? Jared, is that right?
I guess so, yeah. It's been a while.
Wow, 19 consecutive starts without a loss. What do you see with Colon today? You've had a chance to watch him as a kid growing up and now as a teammate.
Yeah, I mean, I love watching Bartolo go out, and, you know, he's efficient, he's effective, he throws a lot of strikes, a lot of fastballs, and, you know, he's great for a day game, too.
Colon out in front of Rios 1-2. Lowry at short. And there's one out here in the bottom of the fourth.
Jared, in the last 3 weeks, your offensive, your group has just been on an unbelievable tear. If you were pitching against your ball club right now, how would you approach them?
Careful. You know, they're a group that's, I think, you know, we've seen the most pitches in baseball, and, you know, we walk a lot, but at the same time, you know, they're aggressive. So it's one of those things where you got to be careful, but you got to be, you know your game, and you try to stick to it, and, you know, hopefully you catch them on an off day.
Adrian Beltre at the plate. Kurt Young, to me, is one of the more underappreciated pitching coaches in all of baseball. Tell us what he means to you and your staff.
Yeah, I mean, he means a lot. Like you said, last year we were rolling with five starters, you know, rookies at a time, and, you know, he was really good with us just to kind of slow the game down, and, you know, he's a great teacher at the same time, and he's able to just take each and every one of us and kind of, you know, tweak and do things that are individual and, you know, specific to us, and because, you know, we're all different and we all need a little bit different things, and, you know, Kurt's great to keep us up and, you know, do the things that we need differently.
Jared, Rich had mentioned you haven't lost since what, May 22nd. What changed for you? Because prior to that, you know, you didn't have eye-popping numbers. You'd struggled a little bit, but things have completely turned for you.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of things. It's, you know, feeling good, feeling fresh, getting back to a good program, you know, cleaning up a couple mechanical issues. You know, it's fun to watch Bartolo and, you know, pick things up that he does and, you know, try to do them in my game and be effective and efficient is, you know, something that I've taken, not trying to strike guys out, just put the ball in play and, you know, let the defense work.
When you talk about mechanical issues, as a former hitter, you know, maybe I drop my hands or maybe I'd use my bottom half more. What specifically was, I mean, if you had to pick one thing mechanically, what did you do?
Yeah, I think early on I was a little rotational. I wasn't really reaching out and, you know, delivering the ball out in front. It was, you know, kind of side to side and not really, you know, striding out and finishing my pitch. And I think that's what kind of came around with, you know, all my off speed kind of goes off of that. And I was able to, you know, get out in front and deliver the ball. And, you know, it brought my fastball command back.
Kelowna 1-2. Beltre center field. Chris makes the catch. Jared, you talked about finishing the year last year with 5 rookies and going into the postseason with that. Now you got a couple of starts in the postseason. What did you learn in those ball games against the Tigers in the postseason?
You know, just that the game's going to happen a lot quicker. You're in a big situation. You know, it's obviously going to be a sellout, and you're on the road in the first game. And it was one of those things where after I got the first, you know, couple outs and made a couple pitches, I kind of settled in. But, you know, going in, you just got to control your emotions and be able to, you know, slow the game down.
A.J. Pierzynski up right now. Well, let's hope you're in that spot to make at least a couple of postseason starts this year. Thanks for the visit. Good luck down the stretch.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Get back in that air-conditioned clubhouse.
Jared Parker, who started games 1 and 5 in the division series against the Tigers last year. Colon is the old man of the rotation, and then you've got youth, very talented youth. A.J. Griffin, Sonny Gray, the Vanderbilt product. The A's trying to bring Brett Anderson back from injury. A little bit of a setback last night, back spasms, but they feel that he'll be fine and should be available in a few days.
And Straley threw last night as well, another youngster. They've got quite a complement of pitchers.
Brzezinski takes up, and it's 2-2. Colon, this is his 16th year in the big leagues. Oakland, his 7th team, and he went a 5-year span where he didn't pitch well and he didn't win much from 2006 through 2010. To center, and Brzezinski has another hit. So he's 2 for 2 against Cologne.
Brzezinski's up there to swing the bat, no question about that. Doesn't walk very often. This pitch up in the zone just drives it right back up the middle.
Now Soto with 2 outs. The Rangers continue the pattern of getting a base runner in every inning, but they have been unable to move runners and obviously have been unable to score. Their 3rd hit, all singles, and as Ron Washington pointed out to us, offensively there's just nobody aside from maybe Beltrade providing big hits, loud hits. That one over the head of Donaldson and into the corner. Brzezinski doesn't run well. Moss picks it up, and the stop sign at 3rd base. Soto with a 2-out double. A different runner at first, and it might be a tie game.
Soto gets a pitch out over the plate. He pulls this thing down the line. Brzezinski running as fast as he can possibly run. Big man gets going. Donaldson doing his best effort to get up in the air.
Look at the hops.
Especially when you raise those knees up to your chest, you really bring the feet up high.
Now a big at bat from Mitch Moreland. Rangers threatening, 2 outs. And Moreland fouls it over the screen. 94 miles an hour on the fastball from Cologne.
Well, in the previous at bat, Cologne attacked Moreland with outside fastballs, and he kept moving further and further away. 3 pitches, 3 strikes.
Boy, a long dry spell for Moreland. He's 0 for his last 19 with a dozen strikeouts. And this is the spot that Ron Washington talked about. This is the spot where against the Pirates, the Rangers couldn't get the big hit.
Well, and another opportunity right here. You see defensively, there's a bit of a shift to the right. Shortstop playing basically up the middle.
Fastball, and he struck him out. And Cologne escapes. The Rangers strand 2 to the 5th. Still 1-0 Oakland. Fifth. Now, Vogt was part of a big ball game on Wednesday. The A's exploded. They had a 10-run fourth. This a 419-foot home run by Vogt. That was in that fourth inning. And Oakland beat the Twins on 22 hits, 18-3. Vogt takes a strike.
They had a 10-run fourth inning, I believe, that game.
Yes, they did.
Man, that's batting practice.
Well, for Vogt, what a nice breakthrough this has finally been. He's a guy that battled his way to get to the big leagues with the Rays, made the opening day roster last year, and promptly went 0 for 25. And didn't get back to the big leagues to get his first hit until the A's called him up. That after the concussion to John Jaso. Vogt to right. Rios. One out. Around the ballpark in Arlington. A look at the Fox Sports 1 fan cam brought to you by Fox Sports 1. Available on all TV providers. FoxSports1.com to find out what channel.
Oh, I gotta believe that person is hot. How'd you like to have that job today? You're wearing the mascot uni. 95 degrees, go put on the furry mascot uni.
Hang with him. Sogard fly to center in the second. Darvish. And the count's 0-2. Darvish much more in control now, out in front of hitters. Oakland not getting as deep in counts as they were. He's at 73 pitches.
As you mentioned, the working ahead, throwing strike one.
Kinsler backs up for it. 2 down. Here comes Coco Crisp.
I was going to say, excuse me, one of the things, too, about when Darvish is having an efficient inning, not only is he getting his fielders off of the field, but he's putting the opposing pitcher right back out there. You know, one of the things, again, there's so many variables when you're out there throwing that 20 or 25 pitch, 30 pitch inning. But especially in a day like this, don't give Cologne all the time in the world to sit around and get toweled off. Get him right back out on the mound.
Crisp now top of the order, and he takes his strike. He's flied out and struck out. Major league career that took him through Cleveland for 4 seasons. Boston, World Championship in 07. And a really nice year last year with Oakland. And Crisp, as Bob Melvin has told us before, very much a leader of this ball club. Darvish and Soto trying to get on the same page.
He wants a fastball away. Well, you talk about Crisp being a leader. He's not the vocal type, but leads by example, will say something if you need him to, or if he feels compelled to. Going to the off speed here.
Missed out, and it's 3-1.
Soto trying to bring that ball back over the outer part of the plate. Missed with the off speed away. He missed with the fastball away. Soto just trying to get him to command something right now.
Now, communication between a pitcher and a catcher is important, and with you, Darvish, that's been an issue at times this year.
Well, I think fingers are the same in all different types of language. Now, this is with A.J. Pierzynski here, Darvish, and Pierzynski's caught a majority of Darvish's games, and just don't know if that was something that was pitch selection, if it's where he's set up, how to approach a hitter.
Crisp fouls that one off. Well, there's a whole lot of issues there. There's a guy in Darvish who had a terrific career in Japan. You've got Pierzynski, who's a veteran catcher. Obviously, they've worked this year. You've got the language barrier.
Well, and you also have, look at A.J. Pierzynski has caught many years in the big leagues. He knows hitters. He knows tendencies. I think until Darvish gets more experience, sometimes he's got to let his catchers lead him. At the end of the day, you have the ball and you can do whatever you want to do. But A.J. Pierzynski has caught a lot of very successful pitchers. Part of their success has been based on what A.J. does behind the plate.
Darvish strikes him out. 7 strikeouts for you, Darvish. Halfway through in Arlington, and the Rangers still looking for their first run. Chevy Silverado at the Silverado versus all events. In Arlington, Oakland, a 1-0 lead. Craig Gentry leads it off for the Rangers. Leonis Martin, Ian Kinsler will follow. Great pitchers duel here. Bartolo Colon and Yu Darvish. And joining us now, the pitching coach of the Texas Rangers, Mike Maddox. You have to appreciate a game like this with two guys throwing well.
Well, you got to like the old-fashioned hardball game, you know, that runs are tough to get, and, you know, the guys are holding the lead, and we're just scratching and snipping, man. It's kind of baseball I like to watch.
Mike, it hadn't been a secret that the starting pitching has hit a bump in the road as of late.
Yeah, it's quite a big bump, but we got to keep going, man. You know, because of what the pitching has done, you know, up to all the way through September. That's the reason that we're in the spot we're in. So, you know, we hit a little lull right here, but we got to finish strong and get back on top.
You know, I mean, as a former hitter, they used to talk about hitting being contagious, and sometimes you'd go into a slump, the whole group would go. Can starting pitching be contagious?
Well, you know, sometimes your lead horse, you know, he sets the pace, and everybody else has to keep up. Now, he stumbles one time, and the pressure goes on the next guy, and he thinks, boy, I got to pick it up. And then all of a sudden, guys just start putting too much pressure on themselves. But all it takes is one good start, and that gets everything rolling again.
Well, your lead horse today, Yu Darvish, settled down after a first inning in which he threw a lot of pitches, gave up a run. What have you seen from your right-hander today?
Well, the one thing that Yu does is he feels his way through the game. You know, you can sit there and have a plan going into the game, what you want to do with each hitter, how, you know, the read-react type thing. But he's such a feel guy that, you know, he feels a certain pitch and he's going to go with that pitch, and, you know, until the other ones come around. But, you know, he grinds it out and he finds a way to get it done.
Well, he's got 7 strikeouts. But right now the Rangers looking for a run. Gentry at the plate. And the count full at 3-2. Little roller up the line, and it's just foul.
Mike, you talk about the lead horse going and everybody following. For me, Derek Holland, very important, probably the key guy. What's his struggle? I mean, what has caused the struggle?
Well, in yesterday's game, the balls they hit were all up in his zone, bottom line. And he has been, you know, remarkably good all year. He's had a couple rough starts here the last couple times, but it's generally because the ball's been elevated. He's really not commanding the fastball, or he hasn't commanded the fastball the way that he wants to. But record, you know, his record doesn't indicate what he's done. I know that you look at wins and losses, and sometimes they can get cut. You know, they can be skewed a little bit. But you look at the times that he pitches and he gives your team a chance to win.
One of the tough parts is they're a selective team. They don't chase a lot, and they have a tendency to get the pitch count up on the starters. How do you battle that as a staff? Well, I think that you really got to respect what Chili Davis is selling over there. You know, they're drinking the Kool-Aid, and I think that he's got them all believe in a certain way, and they all have good approaches, and they definitely hit off the pitcher. You know, you can send, you know, whether it be right-handed, left-handed, hard or soft thrower, they're all going to go up there and pick a pitch and set on that pitch. So, you know, kudos to Chili Davis, and he's really done a lot of good things with their offense. Colon striking out, strike entry, Leonis Martin. Your bullpen's been terrific. The hard part has been getting to him. Talk about the back of your pen, the year Joe Nathan has had, and how your pen sets up for the next 2 weeks. Our bullpen's been the keystone to our success thus far. They have held the lead. You know, they shut down innings. They've done such a fabulous job, and they've really shortened the game up for us. You know, with Joe Nathan on the end, you know, Hall of Famer, I think. You know, he's got his 300 saved this year, and that was about 40 of them ago. So he's been just, you know, tremendous at the end of the ball games. And Tanner Scheppers has really come into his own this year. He's a young pitcher, you know, firepower out, you know, big time firepower. Comes at you, and he's a little bit mean when he's out there. You got Joakim Soria has come back from Tommy John surgery and done quite well. And then you got Neil Kotz, who's come back from the dead. You know, he was out of the game for 4 years and come back and been a great surprise and a great lift for us.
There's one guy you didn't mention that has been key the last few years. He just come back off the disabled list, Ogando. Where does he fit in the whole picture?
Well, he started off, you know, in the rotation, and then he had some shoulder injuries, and I think we've gotten that taken care of. But in the meantime, in his downtime, you know, he kind of lost the stretch out, and when he was ready to, you know, start throwing again, the minor league season was over, so there was no games to stretch him out in. So right now he fits in our pen, and we can use him multiple innings, and he's that variable, you know, the extension of the starter, and he can give us a couple innings, and he can pitch late in the game. Mike, thanks for the visit, and good luck these next 2 weeks, and let's hope those starters get on track, and we'll look for you in the postseason. You bet. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Maddox, the fine pitching coach of the Texas Rangers. Ian Kinsler, 1 for 2 in the ball game, and Colon Misses outside. Bartolo Colon right now shutting out Texas. Rangers have just 4 hits. Ian Kinsler, 3 things you need to know. First job at a grocery store. Yogi is his dog. And it's a tradition to have baseball cards in his stocking at Christmas.
I remember those days, the baseball cards. Get a box of baseball cards. Santa used to bring them. Then Santa stopped.
Santa went online at that point. In a left center field. Crisp will pick it up. Kinsler has his 2nd hit.
He's pitched down. Probably even a ball. Kinsler does a nice job of staying with it, drives it back up the middle. Now, again, when you're in a situation you've been in as far as the Rangers where you've been struggling to make things happen, this would be an opportune time to try and steal a base. You get thrown out, then you have Andrews leading off the next inning. If you don't, you're successful. You got a runner in scoring position. You got to try something.
The scouting report on Stephen Vogt behind the plate. Very good catch and throw guy. Strong arm.
And again, with the Rangers, because you've got to make your own luck. You've got to make something happen that'll make you feel good about yourself. And said, what's the worst thing that can happen? You get thrown out.
Vaughn has thrown out 32% of the base runners this year. The Rangers had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs in the 4th, and Colon struck out Mitch Moreland. That's the best opportunity Texas has had today. Alex Rios is on deck. This game has no resemblance to the game that was played here last night. Last night the A's beat the Rangers 9-8. 4 hours and 9 minutes for a 9-inning game. Oakland used 7 pitchers. Texas used 7 pitchers. And here is Colon and Darvish dueling in a 1-0 game in the bottom of the 5th. Kinsler runs, got a big jump, and there'll be no throw.
Again, smart by Kinsler, and he's just been timing Colon. Colon not paying any attention. Kinsler steals that easily. And if you're Colon right now, you're going to stay on the outer part of the plate. Get Andrews to keep fishing. Throw a fastball off of the plate. Throw a breaking ball off of the plate. But got to stay way outside.
2-2. He lays off the breaking ball, and the count's full 3-2.
Again, you got first base open. You don't have to throw anything over the big part of the plate. Colon, where he's successful, is outside. Stay away.
Three-two coming. Struck him out. Joe West rings him up. Down goes Andrus and Bartolo Colon, and the A's are still up 1-0. with a chance to push their lead in the West to 5.5 games. Josh Donaldson has scored the only run in a pitcher's duel. Yu Darvish and Bartolo Colon have been outstanding, and runs have been tough to get. Last night, just a wild affair. A 9-8 Oakland win. And Darvish goes after Josh Donaldson to open up the 6th. With Jed Lowry and Brandon Moss behind him.
This is a big inning for Darvish. He's up at 82 pitches. He's facing the heart of this A's lineup, a 1-0 ball game. Got to get your guys back in the dugout for the Rangers. Rios, Beltre, and Przinsky come up. So very key to shut down the A's this inning.
Donaldson takes up. Last year, as Oakland won 94 games and won the West, if you were looking for an MVP, I mean, you could go Reddick, you could go Cespedes. If you're looking for an MVP this year, I think Donaldson is your guy.
Easily been the most consistent A's offensive player. Been there all year, played some solid defense over at third. The off-speed pitch. Been very effective today for Darvish. He's thrown it a number of times, especially even when he's behind in the count. Thrown it a couple times 3-2.
Two. Up the middle. And into center field, a base hit. Donaldson is aboard to lead off the 6th. Today's telecast is sponsored by Taco Bell's new fiery Doritos Locos Taco. Live Moss. And by AT&T, helping you do what you do even better. AT&T, rethink possible. Leadoff man aboard for the first time for Oakland. Joe West right now at issue with someone in the Oakland dugout. Bob Melvin out just to defuse it.
Well, it goes out to Adrian Beltre. He's talking to Coco Crisp, and now they're trying to get Coco Crisp off the rail. Coco Crisp was been John. Adrian Beltre has just been staring in the dugout for the Texas Rangers, still looking in there. Starting to walk away.
Crisp back on the rail. Beltre back at third base. And Jed Lowry comes to the plate with Brandon Moss. You win a Cespedes to follow. Want to know to Oakland's shortstop. Now Lowry has struck out twice against Darvish. Well, in the heat of a race, in 90+ degree weather here in Texas,
throw yourself a little Red Bull to get that adrenaline going, huh?
Gentry is there and makes the catch. And obviously, these two teams not only have seen a lot of each other being in the same division, but such important games down the stretch last year with Oakland taking what Texas thought they had. I mean, to win it, Oakland had to win 6 straight, and then they had a 3-game series against Texas. They had to win all 3, and they did.
Well, 5 games back with 9 to go, Oakland was able to do something that nobody thought was probable.
And the Rangers enjoyed almost the entire season in first place. The Rangers were in first place by 3.5 games about 3 weeks ago. And then it all flipped, and here is Oakland now, 4.5 games up. The Rangers not only falling back in the West, but starting to slip a bit, even though they still are a wild card team. If they continue to play like this, they won't be for long.
Well, the one thing you can always guarantee with a Ron Washington-led ball club is they will fight. They will fight until the very end. Now, what you're going to fight with, as far as what kind of talent you have, all that, that's out of his hands. And again, this ball club is not comprised and not built like the previous Ranger ball clubs.
You see the infield shift. That's Beltre out near short. And a strike to Brandon Moss. Nolan Ryan and the Rangers have been to the postseason the last 3 years, and of course the World Series in 2010 and 2011. Dominated by the Giants in 2010, and a strike away from a World Championship in 2011. Moss cranks one to center. Martin at the start of the track, tagging at first Donaldson, and he'll come halfway. A good strong throw by Martin. Here comes Cespedes. And time for a player profile brought to you by AT helping you do what you do even better. AT rethink possible. And this is the month that Cespedes has enjoyed.
Yeah, real nice, coming off a very disappointing August, and really everything since the All-Star game, the home run derby, just never been able to get going. But this month of September, he's really turned it on, been an integral part of the A's success. Had a big 3-run home run last night for the A's in the first inning.
What is it about Oakland, this unit under Bob Melvin, Chili Davis in his second year, Kurt Young has been here for a while. It's his second tour with the A's. What is it about them in the second half of seasons? Because last year they turned it on, and this year they've turned it on in the second half, and that's not easy to do.
No, maybe guys get comfortable with their roles. They understand what the philosophy is at Oakland. They start to buy into the program. Billy Beane has always said, the general manager of the A's, you comprise your team. You spend the first third of it watching it, the second third of it getting it ready for that final third. You see Chili Davis right there, the fine hitting coach.
Runner on the move, swing and a miss, the throw down, not in time. Donaldson just got a hand under. Soto made a good throw.
Soto just to the wrong side, or the other side I should say, of the bag. You see that left hand, it goes on, then it comes off. He keeps it on, he holds it.
In scoring position, but Cespedes behind the count, 0-2.
Donaldson doing a nice job of sliding also to the outside part of the bag. And that, coupled with Soto's throw to the left field side, made it difficult to put the tag on.
One and two. Barton on deck. Oakland has the only run and just 4 hits. Donaldson in scoring position. Neil Kotz in Texas's bullpen. Emergency swing, and he just got a piece.
Really nice job of fouling that pitch off. We talked at the top of the show. The A's have been great since that August 23rd date, hitting with runners in scoring position at over a 350 clip. Besides the slugging and the on-base percentage, they've been very productive in the run-scoring situations.
He's gone up a couple of times with 2 strikes, and Cespedes has not chased. It's 2-2.
Well, Cespedes is one of the few Oakland A hitters that isn't very patient. He'll swing at a lot of things, and that should fall into Darvish's hands because Darvish again likes to expand the zone.
Two. Chase that one, and Darvish struck him out. Still 1-0 in Texas.
CC Sabathia dropping it in. It's going to score a run, making it 4-1 Red Sox. It's 5-1. John Lester so far outstanding. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. It's a 5-1 lead in Boston. Let's go to Milwaukee. Brewers trying to play spoiler again. Carlos Gomez to center field. This RBI makes it 4-2. Brewers tack on another. So it's a 1-run lead for the Cincinnati Reds, who at the moment have that second NL wildcard spot. Let's get you back out to Arlington and rejoin Rich Waltz and Eric Karros.
Thanks, Greg. And Eric, as Boston gets closer to the end of that ball game, they've got just a lockdown closer who's on a hot run right now. Koji Uehara, that one lined into left field, a base hit. Alex Rios. And a leadoff single in the bottom of the 6th for the Texas Rangers, looking for a run against Bartolo Colon.
And this is where the Rangers again can do something. You got the middle of the lineup up. Rios can run. Again, the Rangers, they just have not been able to get any kind of momentum. I mean, you talk about last night and they scored a bunch of runs, absolutely, but they were down 7.
Beltre's lined out, flied out. Smacked into center field. Crisp is there, and he makes the catch. And there's an out here in the 6th. September is Hunger Action Month, and Fox Sports Supports is proud to turn orange in support of Feeding America, a nationwide network of food banks that leads the fight against hunger in the United States. To learn how you can help, visit feedingamerica.org/Fox Sports. Well, the best swings for the Rangers today against Cologne have come from this man. 2 line drive singles by A.J. Pierzynski. And you've got Rios, who has speed at first.
Rios has some speed, but this is a situation where I don't run now. And the reason I don't, I've got the left-handed hitting Pierzynski up at the plate. Barton holding the runner on at first base. You've got that hole on the right-hand side for the left-hander to hit. See that right there, that shot?
Popped up. Donaldson. Boy, 2 big outs for Cologne after the leadoff hit from Rios. And it has been a frustrating, not only ball game here, but a frustrating September for the Rangers.
Well, and AJ struggling right there with that, because he knows that pitch wasn't something that he should go after. 1-0 count. He's already got 2 line drive hits. You know, Cologne gives up that hit, and 3 pitches later, he's got 2 outs.
Yeah, 4 pitch innings so far. Soto has flied out and doubled.
And I think that right now that's the real contrast between this Ranger ball club offensively and this Oakland A club offensively. Oakland will take pitches. They'll sit on 2-0. They'll take pitches. If it's not something right there, they're in such a zone that if it's not something that they want to drive, they're not going to swing it. You see Cologne right now talking about efficient. Outside of that 4th and 5th inning, been pretty darn good. And to come back after throwing 21 pitches in the 5th, getting out of here with possibly 6 pitches. Here's Dave Magadan, hitting coach for the Texas Rangers. Used to be with the Padres in Boston. And you can preach and teach all you want. Bottom line is you've got to have the guys buy into it. You've got to have the guys that can execute a certain type of philosophy.
Well, and we touched upon it earlier. When you don't have an all-star cog in the middle of your lineup, Nelson Cruz, that's a big loss.
It is a big loss, but you go. I'll look at the Oakland Ball Club, and they don't really have that big monster guy. I mean, they've got some very productive players. And I go to this thing of the philosophy, the going on base, the taking pitches. I'm not so sure that you teach that. You're that type of player, or you're not that type of player. Very rarely in my career have I seen guys that were wild swingers, then all of a sudden they become patient, they're working counts. But what Oakland has done is they've constructed a lineup that is comprised of all these certain types of hitters.
Not just a lineup, but a roster.
Yep.
Because there are platoon situations all over the place for Oakland. And that takes, obviously, Billy Beane and David Force to construct it, but it also takes Bob Melvin to manage it and the players to buy into it.
Well, managing those types of personalities and being able to get people to be content if they're not playing every day is difficult. Bob Melvin's done a great job.
No swing by Soto. And on the other side, Ron Washington, just what he told us today, you get the sense that in this ballgame, much like in that entire Pittsburgh series in which the Rangers were swept, Texas is 1 swing away from getting a run, getting a lead, and then getting on a roll. Count full with 2 outs, and Rios on the way. And he got him. Bartolo Colon has been magnificent, outstanding. Colon, terrific. We're back after a word from your local Fox station. All TV providers. Go to foxsports1.com to find out what channel. And you see it, a battle of aces. Yu Darvish, Bartolo Colon, and they have pitched like it here today. Derek Barton, Josh Reddick, Stephen Vogt. 8 strikeouts for Darvish. Barton is 1 for 2. Darvish an ERA under 3, but a record of just 12-8. 3 of his 8 losses this year have come in 3 starts against Oakland.
Well, I was going to take it a step further. He has already lost 3 this year, 1-0 decisions. 3. There it is right there. Man, we're good. This is TV production at its best. On the flip side as well, in his last 19 starts, the Rangers have scored 40 runs. 19 starts, 40 runs. How about a little run support, huh?
About 9 strikeouts now for Darvish.
Another breaking ball. That's been his pitch today when he wants to put away hitters. And what's been interesting, you mentioned the 9 strikeouts. Every one of them have been swinging.
Now Reddick. Reddick an 0 for 2, and he takes a strike. Reddick getting a start against the right-hander off the disabled list earlier in the week. A double and a homer against the Twins. And behind the count 0-2. There weren't a lot of 0-2 counts early in the ball game for Darvish, who was close to 50 pitches in the first 2 innings.
Yeah, he seemed to really struggle with the command the first few innings. Since then, though, he's really been able to establish that breaking ball. That's been his pitch to go to when he's ahead in the count, even when he's been behind in the count. Seemed to be more confident in that than the fastball today.
Count stays at 1-2. You talked about the lack of run support, the 1-0 losses. The Rangers are just 14-14 when Darvish starts. You see Kotz, the second time that Kotz has been up in the bullpen. That's wasted opportunities. When your ace goes out there and pitches to a 2.8 ERA, you have to be better than 500. Got him. Backdoor breaking ball. 10 strikeouts for Darvish.
You know, look at this one here, Rich. That's the first called strikeout today for Darvish. That puts 10 in the books.
Last Wednesday, Americans turned into the ultimate fighter. And they did it in record numbers. The Ronda Rousey-Miesha Tate rivalry produced a shocking finish. And if you thought last week was an intense Eric Karros, wait till you see Rousey-Tate battle this week. Don't miss an all-new episode of The Ultimate Fighter Wednesday on Fox Sports 1.
Have you ever seen Rousey fight?
Yes.
You've seen the arm bar?
Yes.
I'm being dead serious. That's almost hard to watch. Really? I mean, she puts that submission hold. Anyhow, I'll be watching.
Record numbers, though. Watched it. Stephen Vogt takes a breaking ball for a strike. Vogt singled in the second. Flied out in the fifth. Long run, Gentry, and into the seats it goes. It does not seem as if the Athletics will get John Jaso back this year. The concussion has put him on the shelf.
And he was leading the team in on-base percentage.
But you had Vogt, who was filled in nicely. They went and traded and got Kurt Suzuki back. Suzuki got the start last night. 1-2. Did not go.
It looked like he held up there. Joe West asking for help. Third base umpire Rob Drake.
110 pitches in is Yu Darvish in the top of the seventh in Arlington. 2-2.
Well, he's gone to the breaking ball a number of times today, 3-2. Seemed to be what he's most confident in. Wouldn't be surprised if he did it right here.
Darvish has struck out the last 3 he's faced. He's punched out 10 in the game. Pulled foul. As we noted earlier in the game, Darvish has already shot past 250 strikeouts. He was certainly a horse in Japan. 4 times he went over 200 innings in Japan. There's a variety of ways you can track strikeouts. Another 3-2. A liner to right. Yu Darvish is through 7. But the Rangers still have not scored a run. helping you do what you do even better. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Chevrolet, check out the all-new Chevy Silverado at the Silverado versus All event. In Arlington, last night a wild affair. 9-8, Oakland won. A very different day today, and it started in the first against Yu Darvish. Brandon Moss rifled one into the right field corner, and Josh Donaldson scored all the way from first with a head-first slide, and Oakland was off and rolling. And you thought maybe the A's would score a bunch? Wrong. Yu Darvish, from that point on, has been dominant.
He really has. He's striking the Oakland A hitters out with a number of different off-speed pitches. Of his 10 strikeouts, 9 were swinging.
Our Domino's game summary: Moss's RBI double. Colon has been terrific as well. Bartolo's gone 6 innings. And Darvish with his 10 strikeouts. Domino's, oh yes we did. All right, Mitch Moreland, Craig Gentry, Leonis Martin, also for the Rangers. Colon has shown no signs of stress, no signs of excitement, just very calmly, coolly, and from the Rangers' perspective, coldly has gone about his business. Moreland 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Then Gentry, then Martin. And Moreland struggling mightily right now in the throes of a stretch which has seen him go 0 for his last 20, 13 strikeouts.
No, and even today, you saw 6 pitches in his first 2 at-bats. Right now, 3 at-bats, he's seen 9 pitches, 8 of them strikes, and he's down 1 and 2 right now. And I think it's so tough when you're hitting and you're in the throes of a slump like this. You're thinking about it. You're aware of it.
One-two coming. And he strikes out again. Boy, Colon strikes out Moreland. And there's 1 out. Monday on Fox Sports 1, experience the pennant race as it happens on an all-new episode of Mission October. The reigning Cy Young winner. Can he pitch the Rays into the wild card spot? Can David Price do it? Mission October. Rays of Hope, all new Monday, only on Fox Sports 1. To find Fox Sports 1 on your provider, go to foxsports1.com. Gentry now trying to bunt, and he pops it up to first base, and Colon, just like that, has 2 quick outs. You can catch all the action of the 2013 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox, TBS, and MLB Network starting October 1st. Now Martin. Good bunter in the 9 spot. He's 0 for 2. And Colon just keeps pumping across strikes.
Well, and if you notice where he's working, it's away, away, away. I mean, I remember facing Colon when he was with the White Sox. I was with the Cubs. The book on him, he's going to throw you away, away, and it just hasn't changed. When he is trying to get the hitter out, he's going away. He may set you up with some inside stuff. Out pitch. Where's it going, Rich?
Away.
Away.
That's from your.
That's just from
Cubs scouting report 2003.
2003, and from watching this today. Where's he going? Away.
Targets away, and he got actually a little more of the plate than he wanted. 0-2. That is not Eric Karros' scouting report from 2003.
That's what it's come to, though, these days. I mean, the charts, the counts, the tendencies. I mean, you have more information than you know what to do with.
Bartolo Colon strikes out Leonis Martin. 7 shutout innings in the Texas heat for the 40-year-old Colon. And Oakland continues to lead Texas 1-0. Out of the Texas bullpen, Eric Sogard, Coco Crisp, Josh Donaldson for Oakland, and 1 pitch, a fly ball to center. Leonis Martin makes the catch. Let's go to Greg Amsinger in the MLB Network studios for this game break.
Rich, watch this. Joey Votto unloads. He turns around a 95-mile-an-hour fastball on a 3-1 pitch. That is 470 feet away. 4th longest in Miller Park history. 6-3 Reds lead, bottom 7. Home run number 23 for Joey Votto in the year. We'll send it back to you guys in Arlington.
Votto starting to heat up, Greg and Eric. Cincinnati behind Pittsburgh and St. Louis in the Central and in the wild card. Here, Coco Crisp leads it off. Oakland, a 4.5 game lead in the West. The A's have won 3 straight, 11 of 14. And the Rangers, a real September collapse, at least so far. They've lost 10 of 13. 7 of their last 8. And as a result, the standings have flipped. Oakland went from 3.5 back to 4.5 up.
Well, they still lead the wild card, and as Wash told us prior to the game, they've still got it all in their hands. They've got 4 with Tampa Bay. They've got 3 with Kansas City, both teams that are involved in the wild card hunt. You take a look at the standings right now. 1 ahead of Tampa in the loss column. Cleveland is a team to watch out for just because of their schedule.
Kansas City 3.5 back in the wild card. There's 2 ways to look at it. And Ron Washington chose to look at it as if the Rangers have their own destiny in playing those teams, in playing the Rays, in playing Kansas City. On the other hand, if the slump continues against those ball clubs, then the rest of the pack in the wild card gets closer. Chris pops it up. Beltre looking up into the sun. And there are 2 outs. Log on to foxsports.com/ace for your chance to win a sports room makeover. Here now is Donaldson. He's been aboard twice. Extended his hit streak to 10 games with a single back in the 6th. And of course scored the only run on Brandon Moss's 2-out RBI double in the 1st.
Well, and remember, Donaldson historically had struggled against Darvish. 1 for 11, we mentioned. 7 strikeouts coming into today's ball game. He gets on in the 1st inning with a walk.
Pulls one to short. Andrus gets the out. Tanner Scheppers, a very brief appearance in the 8th. Bottom of the 8th in Texas, 1-0 Oakland. Today's telecast is sponsored by Fox Sports 1. To find your channel, go to foxsports1.com. And by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. In Arlington, 1-0 Oakland. Rich Waltz along with Eric Karros. This has been a dramatic departure from last night's 9-8 Oakland win. Bartolo Colon has been fantastic. Yu Darvish was good as well.
Well, it's been a pitcher's duel, no question about it. And you really didn't expect that. At least I didn't because of the heat today. The ball jumps in this ballpark. Yu Darvish, though, what he's done to tame this Oakland offense, I think has really been spectacular because this Oakland offense has been second to none for almost 3 weeks.
But, of course, we told you and showed you Darvish 3 times this year has lost 1-0 games. And here's Oakland, a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 8th. Top of the order, Ian Kinsler. And he hangs in with a count 0-2.
I think there's been a stubbornness, though, with this Texas Rangers offense. You've got to go up there as a hitter, and it's not fun. It's not great for the ego, but look away. He's going to throw you fastballs away. You're going to get stuff away. Drive it the other way. Hit it to right field if you're a right-handed hitter.
In the air, into center. Coco Crisp. So an out here in the bottom of the 8th. And here is Elvis Andrus. Cologne beaten by Texas back on September 3rd. It was a 5-1 ball game. As you pointed out, he hit a rough patch this year, but his last time out beat Houston 7-2, struck out 7 in 6 innings. He's pitching here in the bottom of the 8th. He has never thrown a 1-0 shutout. Into left field, a base hit. Andrus is aboard. Now you've got speed at first and some big bats in Rios and Beltre coming up.
Rios had a single his last time up at the plate. Again, to just sit around and wait for something to happen, I'm really not sure that Ron Washington can afford to do that. See Sean Doolittle down in the bullpen. He closed out the game last night for the A's. He just absolutely dominated, bringing heat.
He's running on the first pitch, and he's got the bag. Andrus steals second, 40th of the season.
And if you're a Rangers fan, at least that excites you a bit. You're happy to see that they're trying to do something instead of just sitting around and waiting. They've been waiting for a couple weeks. The offense just isn't happening. Andrus does a great job of getting a good jump, puts himself into scoring position. Now the Rangers need what Wash has been looking for the last couple of days, that one big hit.
Beltre waits. Bob Melvin has his bullpen ready. Doolittle, the hard-throwing lefty. Rios acquired to reinforce the middle of the lineup for the Rangers. 109 games with the White Sox this year. To left, Moss has room, tagging his Andrus, and he gets to third. 90 feet away.
You see Andrus goes to tag. Smart move. Gets to third. More opportunities to score from there. Well, this is the guy. This is the guy that right now in this lineup, if you are the Oakland A's and looking at the Texas Rangers, I'm not going to let Adrian Beltre beat me. Be very careful. If I'm Cologne, the Voit behind the plate, everything is outside off the plate. I don't care if I walk him.
And probably the last guy that Cologne faces in the ball game.
Yeah, Brzezinski faced Doolittle last night. Didn't have any success against him. Just fastball, fastball, fastball.
Beltre to right. Reddick at the track makes the catch. Bartolo Colon survives the 8th, and it's on to the 9th, and it's still 1-0.
bullpen. You heard Mike Maddox say a few innings ago that the bullpen has been the shining light for the Rangers pitchers this year. And so here is Kotz, and his first pitch, the switch hitting shortstop, is Jed Lowry, and he fouls it back. Joaquin Soria in the Texas bullpen. This is a Yu Darvish, Bartolo Colon start. Colon has gone the distance for Oakland. Tanner Scheppers pitched a 1-2 3/8, and Kotz here in the ninth. Lowry in the ball game is 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts. Three things you need to know about Jed Lowry. Stanford, impressive. His wife, a U.S. diplomat, impressive. 7,000 photos on a trip to Africa. Now that, pretty incredible. And here are some of the photos from Jed Lowry's collection. Now you do this with your iPhone, but 7,000 photos on this trip to Africa.
I want to know what's he doing playing baseball. You see the website. Look at those photos.
JL4photography.com. What he's doing is playing an important role for Oakland. A guy that has had trouble staying healthy in his career, but not this year. This year, he's been an important part of Oakland's run to 86 wins and a 4.5 game lead in the West and a leadoff walk. And here comes Brandon Moss.
Well, Moss had the big base hit in the first inning. An RBI double down the right field line, scored Josh Donaldson.
Moss homered in the game last night. He fouls a pitch back. Now Moss is one of those guys that Bob Melvin will bring in and out of the lineup, though he has faced lefties and he has homered against lefties this year.
Yeah, well, he's one of those guys that's been hot, including today, the last 23 games. 9 home runs, 23 RBIs.
He's facing a very good lefty here in Kotz. Well, we saw Doolittle up. Grant Balfour, who has struggled lately as Oakland's closer, is getting ready in the bullpen.
A little surprised that Doolittle isn't still hot. A.J. Przinsky, a left-handed hitter leading off for the Rangers. Maybe you spot Doolittle there and then bring in Balfour. Balfour is a closer, but 2 outings ago he threw over 30 pitches. Last outing a little suspect. He hasn't been real sharp. Getting late in the season, he's thrown a lot.
Kotz, originally drafted by Oakland, second round all the way back in 2001. Tommy John surgery. In 2010. Good battle here, Kotz and Moss. Yoenis Cespedes is on deck. But you saw Soria in the Texas bullpen. There's nothing that Mike Maddox, the pitching coach of the Texas Rangers, can be unhappy about today. He got a terrific start from Yu Darvish. Shepard's outstanding in the 8th. And Kotz strikes out Brandon Moss.
That's a breaking pitch high up in the zone, probably right at the borderline. Moss can't pull the trigger. Joe West can. Calls him out for strike 3.
Cespedes. A home run last night, 0 for 3 in this one. Oh and 1. The Rangers have Pierzynski, Soto, and Moreland scheduled in the bottom of the 9th.
Kotz working up in the zone. Cespedes unable to catch up to it. Been high with his off speed, high with the fastball.
No swing, says Sam Holbrook.
Kotz trying to bury this pitch in, tie up Cespedes. And this is who he's trying to be careful with. You've got the left-handed hitting Barton up next. You don't want Cespedes to extend his arms. You're just constantly working him in, and in.
You got a trio of lefties after Cespedes with Reddick and Vogt behind Barton. Lowry not a real threat to steal a bag. Two and 2. Cespedes to center. Martin. 2 outs. And now here comes Barton. 7 innings of Yu Darvish. 8 innings of Bartolo Colon. Oakland got a run in the very first inning. Brandon Moss an RBI double. That's it.
Well, neither starting pitcher deserves to lose today. Darvish doing a great job, dominant, 10 strikeouts, 9 of them swinging. Colon equal to the task, stayed away from any type of trouble, just dominated the Texas Ranger ball club. Right now, the score stands. Darvish could possibly lose his 4th 1-0 ball game of the year.
That's amazing. The Rangers just 14 and 14 in Yu Darvish starts.
And if I'm correct, I believe that would be a record. Dave McNally, when he was with the Orioles, lost 3 1-0 ball games in a season. I don't think it's ever been done 4 times.
Pop up from Barton. Soto for a look. And that was closer to Nolan Ryan than it was to Soto. I mean, if you are second in your league in ERA and Darvish was coming in by just 1 point, Colon was right behind him. You're giving your team an opportunity to win every time out.
But when you're a #1, you're facing usually the other team's top pitcher. As in the case today, you're running up against Bartolo Colon. in Darvish's last start against the Pirates. Although he's not established, Garrett Cole pitched for the Pirates, a top pick from a few years back.
Jed Lowry still at first. Crowd trying to get Neil Cox through it. Still 0-2. A win for Oakland, and it's a 5.5 game lead. Oakland has a favorable schedule from here on out.
Well, a win for Oakland, and Texas has to start worrying about the wild card. And the reality is, again, with Texas, you say you still got it under your control, but you're going to Tampa for 4 games. You're going to Kansas City for 3. And remember, you end up with 4 games against the Angels here at home. Angels have been playing significantly better baseball this second half.
That's in, and Barton evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, this pitch looks like it got a good part of the plate. I think Joe West just misses this call. Soto pulls it back a little bit. Have to commend Joe West, though, for working behind the plate today. He's done a nice job, especially in this heat. Remember, these guys don't get a break. Awfully hot back there in all the gear.
Been doing it since 1976. 2-2 and a throw to first.
Hey, no better place to spend your anniversary, right?
That was a really nice moment when Stephen Vogt came to the plate and wished Joe a happy anniversary, and Joe asked him for what. And Vogt had researched Joe West and knew that this was the anniversary of his first major league game.
And he probably said, I'd like to do that in Texas, a day game, September, behind the plate about 100 degrees.
Well, when you're country Joe West, this is not a bad place to be. 2-2. To right. To the bottom of the ninth, the Texas Rangers are down 1-0. Still. Texas, Oakland. Their aces, Darvish, Cologne. They've dueled for 3 hours in the Texas heat. Oakland has scratched out a run, and that's it. And this ballgame arrives in the bottom of the 9th. Grant Balfour comes out of Oakland's bullpen. Kurt Suzuki into the ballgame as well, Oakland's best defensive catcher. And the A's try to go 5.5 up in the West. Try to win their 4th straight. They've been red hot in September. The Rangers, on the other hand, have not been. Texas has lost 7 of 8, 10 of 13. Ron Washington with A.J. Pierzynski to start the inning. Veteran Lance Berkman is on deck. Now, Eric, Grant Balfour has not been sharp lately, and his fastball misses up to Pierzynski. 7 runs in his last 7 games. But in those games, he's 5 of 6 in save situations. Obviously, there's no margin here. This is not a 3-run or a 2-run save. It's 1-0.
Well, the velocity's been there. The location hasn't.
And Pierzynski helps him out by going after a high fastball.
No, A.J. Pierzynski not going to walk. That's something that he just does not do, although he's 0 for 6 against Balfour in his career. You'd think he might take a few pitches.
He's been high on all 3 pitches. Pierzynski fouled the second fastball back, and it's 2-1. It was not Balfour that closed the game last night. It was Sean Doolittle. And he did it in spectacular fashion. 2-2.
Balfour not messing around, going right after Pierzynski with the hard fastball. Been up, he worked him in right there.
Joe Nathan, just in case. 2-2. Lips it foul and out of play. Ron Washington right now organizing his pinch hitters. Balfour with a 2-2. And Pierzynski pops that one up. Over for it is Suzuki, and he makes the catch. And there's one out. And it's time now for the Burger King plays of the game. Bartolo Colon, masterful in 8 innings. The 40-year-old looking for win number 16. Strikes out 7. Gives up just 7 hits and shuts out the Rangers. And delivers the game to Balfour here in the 9th.
Well, so much has been made of the Oakland A's offense as of late, and rightfully so. But today it's been all Oakland A pitching, specifically Bartolo Colon.
Burger King, where taste is king. And Balfour and Suzuki chatted out. Lance Berkman's kind of been a forgotten guy for the Texas Rangers. The Rangers signed him to an $11 million contract, hoping he would add some offense, some veteran leadership. But his body just has not cooperated.
No, he just has not been in any way, shape, or form the player that they had hoped to have this year to fill in that DH role. Right now, Ron Washington just hoping that he can find lightning in a bottle, that Berkman can run into a fastball here.
He's 0 for 4 in his career against Balfour. Berkman limited to 32 games with calf and knee injuries in St. Louis last year. He had the big year in 2011 in the World Championship year for the Cardinals. Berkman lines it to center. Crisp is there, and he makes the catch. And the A's are an out away from a win and a 5.5 game lead in the West.
Well, if there's anybody that needs a hit right now, a hit and a hug, it's this guy right here, Mitch Moreland. He's had a real rough day, but everything, and that's why this game is so beautiful, can be forgiven if he can run into one right here. He's had 3 strikeouts, come up with guys in scoring position. As you mentioned, has been in a rut as of late.
It's more like a canyon than a rut right now.
It is.
0 for his last 21, 14 strikeouts. And Balfour bounces one up there.
You know, and the thing that's so difficult is physically, you're up at the plate. It's going through your head. I've got to get a hit. I'm trying to get a hit. And it's not that it paralyzes you, but that's going through your head, yet you're still up there trying to hit and hoping to separate the two. That's what makes this game so difficult to play.
And the position Ron Washington is in, he's got a key guy who is absolutely buried at the plate, but he needs him to get going. He needs him these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, what's Wash going to do? I mean, you look at the lineup card, you look at the roster, and it is what it is. You hope that Moreland can find that stroke that's allowed him to hit 22 home runs. He can't do it. He has it in him.
He has 22 home runs on the season. He has 21 doubles as well. Balfour, 2-1 pitch.
That's what I say, that this sport, this game, is the most grueling, taxing, mental game that there is. And people can talk about golf, but golf, you're not playing, you're playing basically against yourself. Baseball, you're playing against somebody else that has a ball that's throwing it against you. In golf, that thing's not moving. And not to take away from golfers, but it's difficult.
2-2. It's up. And it's 3-2. 8 shutout innings by Bartolo Colon. Oakland's closer is in there now, Grant Balfour. 3-2 to a struggling Mitch Moreland. And he takes up 2-out walk. And a pinch hitter coming up, David Murphy. Jim Adducci will pinch run at first base.
Adducci does not have a stolen base this year. Nor an attempt.
So here's Murphy. He's been scuffling. Last 16 games under 200. Balfour gets a strike.
Remember that this is a guy last year that hit .304, had an on-base percentage of .380.
Runner goes. Swing and a foul tip. Texas gambles. Murphy got a piece. And Adducci goes back to first.
Again, credit to Ron Washington. He's trying to make something happen. Sends the runner. He had a good jump. Murphy just swings right through a fastball.
And 2. A throw to first. And a nice play by Barton to dig it out.
A great play by Barton. That ball gets by him. Runners at least at second, possibly at third. You see that's a dive and the short hop pick. Very agile over there.
Struck him out. Called strike 3. Murphy is hot. Balfour strikes him out. And Oakland has a 5.5 game lead in the West. 1-0. Oakland beats Texas. For Eric Karros, I'm Rich Waltz. Let's go to Greg Amsinger, the MLB Network studios, for this post-game coverage.